November 18th, 11:43 a.m. The sun sets and won't rise for 65 days. At first, it looks almost ordinary, a faint orange smear slipping under a sheet of frozen sea. But this smear of light isn't just another sunset. It's the last moment of true daylight these people will see until next year. The town is watching its future disappear. Streetlights hum before noon. The clock insists it's midday. But every shadow has vanished, replaced by a flat, unnatural blue. Even the dogs seem confused, howling at a moon that doesn't move. Welcome to Utqiaġvik, Alaska, the northernmost town in America, where the earth tilts so far that daylight simply stops. No dawns, no shadows, no color, just the blue glow of endless twilight. How do you keep living by the clock when the sky refuses to tell time? How do you stay awake when the world keeps whispering sleep? This isn't the start of winter. It's the moment when the human body stops believing in time. And that's when the mind starts playing tricks. Here's what nobody tells you about life inside the long night. It's not the cold that breaks you. It's the confusion. The alarm still goes off at 7. Coffee still brews. But when you step outside, it's pitch black again. The clock says 9 a.m., but the night outside is absolute. Street lights cast desperate orange halos, while the snow reflects a deep, permanent blue. In one of the town's schools, a teacher uses lamps that mimic daylight. She starts every class by reminding the students, it's morning. On the third week, half her students stop showing up on time. You wake up, make coffee, look outside. It's midnight again. It takes a piece of your sanity every time. Shops stay open 24 hours because closing time has lost meaning. At the grocery store, a clerk laughs. We sell more oranges in winter. People say it feels like sunlight. It's a ritual, these tiny performances of normal life beneath a sky that never changes. But the longer this lasts, the more the line between the outside world and the inner mind begins to dissolve. Because when light stops defining the world, what does the darkness reveal? At first, the darkness only feels like silence. Then the silence starts to move. After 2 weeks, the brain begins to misfire in quiet ways. You catch the faint rhythm of footsteps outside, then realize you're hearing your own heartbeat echoing off the walls. You think you see a pale glow behind the clouds, but it's only your memory of sunlight, replaying behind your eyelids. The body forgets when to sleep. The mind forgets when to dream. Inside one house, a woman keeps a lamp burning through the night. Not because she needs light, but because she swears the shadows breathe when it goes dark. You start to feel the darkness watching you back. Another resident told me. He laughed when he said it, but his voice shook. There's no direction here, only gradients of night. People eat dinner at 3 a.m. and breakfast at noon. Some sleep in bursts, 20 minutes at a time. Locals call it the drift. During the drift, the world tilts slightly. Conversations blur between yesterday and last week. Dreams leak into waking life. One man swears he woke to the smell of sunlight, warm dust, and ocean salt. But the clock said 2 a.m. Emergency services prepare for the spike. Domestic calls rise. Alcohol sales triple. The crisis line hums quietly through the endless night. But then something shifts. In the community center, string lights glow above folding tables crowded with food. Steam rises from coffee cups. Laughter cracks through the dark like a match struck in a cave. Because isolation corrodes. But collective darkness forges something else. Neighbors who barely spoke before now gather intentionally. Film nights, potlucks, shared playlists. The darkness that fragments individual minds begins to fuse them together. When everyone's struggling, you stop pretending you're not, one elder said. We take care of each other because we have to, and then we realize we want to. The math is cruel but clear. Alone in the dark, the mind fractures. Together in the dark, it finds anchor. The human body wasn't built for a sky that stays black. When the light disappears for weeks, something deep inside begins to lose its rhythm. The body's internal clock relies on sunlight to keep time. Without it, the system starts guessing. Sleep hormones rise when they shouldn't. Melatonin flooding the bloodstream at noon. Cortisol, the chemical that wakes you, spikes in the middle of the night. You feel heavy when you should be alert, wide awake when you should be dreaming. Every cell starts keeping time to a different song. Even the eyes try to improvise. The pupils dilate wider, chasing light that isn't there. Some residents describe seeing faint flashes, ghostly pulses that drift across their vision. The brain, desperate for sunrise, begins to invent one, and all of it traces back to geometry. Utqiaġvik sits so far north that the planet's tilt turns sunlight into memory. At this angle, the sun's path slips beneath the horizon and stays there, circling invisibly below the edge of the world. Night doesn't fall here, it lingers. People fight back with light bulbs, lamps, and glowing screens. But the color is wrong. Artificial light lacks the full spectrum of daylight, the blues and greens that cue the brain to wake. So even under bright LEDs, the body still believes it's midnight. The result is a slow confusion of chemistry, mood, and time itself. Because when the real sun disappears, the body doesn't just miss warmth. It forgets what morning feels like. For 65 days, the horizon has been nothing but shadow. And then, without warning, it happens. A blade of gold cuts through the clouds. People stop mid-sentence, mid-step. For a moment, the entire town holds its breath. Children climb snowbanks to see it better. Elders close their eyes, letting the light touch their faces like a forgotten language. The sun rises only a few degrees, skimming the horizon before sinking again. But that sliver is enough. Cameras click. Someone cheers. A 40-year fisherman, born in this town, stands motionless. Tears stream down his face. "I cried," he says quietly after. "And I'm not ashamed." The body responds before the mind catches up. Melatonin drops. Cortisol steadies. Heart rates normalize. It's as if every cell recognizes an old signal, a frequency it hasn't heard in months. But the people here don't speak in science. One woman whispers. It's like the world exhales. Another laughs. You remember who you were before the dark. Someone kneels, touches the snow where the light hits it, testing if it's warm yet. It's not. But warmth isn't the point anymore. The snow glows orange. The ocean turns to glass. They call this day the return. And somewhere in the gathering light, the long night finally begins to lose its hold. Because what Utqiaġvik learns in the darkness, it understands about the light better than anyone. Because what Utqiaġvik learns in the darkness, everyone learns eventually. The long night ends. The sun returns. But the lessons remain, not in the sky, but in us. My longest darkness lasted 3 months. It wasn't the absence of light. It was the absence of direction. Every day felt identical. Every morning, I woke asking, does this matter? Am I still moving forward? What saved me wasn't the sun. It was one person saying, you're not alone. That's what I learned from Utqiaġvik. That light, real light, isn't a physical thing. It's presence. It's connection. It's knowing someone sees you, even when the world has turned its back. So I'll ask you, what's the longest darkness you've faced? Not the kind outside, the kind inside. The kind that makes you question if morning will come. And more importantly, what kept you believing it would? Because that's the light we all carry. And in sharing it, we keep each other awake.